let's have a chat about homeopathy. I practice homeopathy for one reason, literally one core reason. And that reason is its ability to access the root causes, plural causes, of our chronic disease struggles. There's no other medicine at this time that has the ability to do that. And not that other modalities are bad and we shouldn't call on them. I'm a firm believer in sunlight for health, in diet, in grounding, in hydrotherapy, etc. But when it comes to accessing the root cause of our disease struggles and our health struggles, we need to understand what those root causes are. And that's easy. That's super easy. The root cause of our diseases is suppression. Suppression on the physical level, suppression on the mental, emotional level. How do we get suppressed? We get suppressed with allopathic medicines that suppress our immune system, and we get suppressed emotionally, and that expresses itself in each organism in a very unique way depending on their family upbringing, their genetics, their experiences, their personal experiences in life, right? And so I practice homeopathy because it has this very unique ability to begin to remove these root causes, these suppressions in the body. Now, here's the deal. A lot of people don't know what homeopathy actually is. They think it's like some herb or some, potion or some kind of food or some supplement, right? And honestly, most people shouldn't know what homeopathy is because this information, the information about this medicine has been buried. It's been buried since about 1910. And what most people aren't aware of is that homeopathy used to be the core curriculum in medical school training. Yes, before pharmaceuticals, before all of that came about, homeopathy was at the heart of medical school training in Europe, in the United States. But that all changed when the Flexner report came out in 1910, when they said, hey, let's get smart about this, right? This is taking far too long to do these intakes, and there's far too many homeopathic remedies to choose from. When somebody comes into my practice, literally, I have remedies going through my head. There's over 2,000 to choose from. Now, if you go into your allopathic physician, or even if you go into another holistic physician, they're thinking supplements, they're thinking genetic testing, they're thinking bloodletting, right? They're thinking in this, very limited way. And when you go into your allopathic physician, they're thinking pharmaceuticals. That's it. They're thinking MRIs. What tests should we run, right? So here's the fact of the matter. We place far too much emphasis on testing, and we place not enough emphasis on somebody's unique symptoms. And to really understand what somebody is struggling with, we have to understand what their symptoms mean. And it goes far beyond what comes up in a lab result or liver qi stagnation or Kapha Vata Pitta, etc. Right? When we have to get outside of the box, we have to break outside of the box when it comes to understanding what is really going on with this person sitting across from me who is sick, who is unwell, who is struggling, right? And how do we determine that? We determine that by their symptoms. As the body gets suppressed with insult after insult from allopathic medication, from emotional insults, from trauma, from PTSD, etc., what happens is the body tries to protect itself by exuding, by producing symptoms. And as a practitioner, a really effective, good practitioner understands what those symptoms mean and understands how to take this individual's symptoms. No matter if this person comes in with cancer and that person comes in with cancer and this person comes in with cancer, all three of them should very likely get a very different homeopathic prescription. That is not how any other medicine works. Any other medicine is like, oh, you have cancer, here's your protocol, here's your allopathic protocol, here's your supplement protocol for the holistic world, here's your diet protocol, same. Now, that's lazy. I'm just going to be honest here. Yeah, there's some core things. There's some core aspects to our health. There's some core modalities that support our health. What are those? Those are sunlight, those are diet, right? There's some core things. However, we can even individuate those things to help meet somebody where they're at with regard to their health. But here's the thing. Another reason why I practice homeopathy is this emphasis on individuation, right? We can individuate the treatment, but we can only do that by understanding somebody's symptoms, and they come in and they tell you their symptoms on the mental, emotional level, on the physical level. They tell you their health history, what medicines have they taken in the past, what have their experiences been, and then a really good practitioner will take all of that information and say, boom, here's your remedy. This is where we start. This is how we have to, where we have to begin. And what we need to understand is that you are going to show up to your practitioner, whatever healthcare practitioner you go to, you're showing up with a certain symptom set. Now, throughout your entire life, you very likely had very different symptom sets. For example, as a kid, I had strep throat. And then I suppressed that with antibiotics my entire childhood. So then what happened after that? I get a new symptom set because I suppressed that. And we think, oh, the strep throat went away. No, it didn't. It didn't go away. It just got suppressed. We literally suppressed the immune system with the antibiotics from exuding symptoms, from producing symptoms, okay? And so what happens is those symptoms go away, aka they get suppressed. They literally, by taking the antibiotics, I've weakened my immune system. So then what happens is, oh, here's a new set of symptoms. What are those new set of symptoms? Oh, it's acne, it's a dairy intolerance, and it's constipation. Oh, okay, let's treat the acne with some antibiotic creams, and let's treat the stomach issues with things like, OTCs like Pepto-Bismol and these sort of things. And so, okay, years go by on that approach, and then that symptom set goes away. But guess what? Here comes a new symptom set because I just suppressed that. And it took years and years, and for years I suppressed those symptoms. And then suddenly my acne goes away and my digestion improves a little bit. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm healed. My acne's suddenly better. And I've dealt with that, right? We all think, oh, I've already dealt with that, And so then here comes a new symptom set. Oh, it's anxiety and migraines and so forth. And so this is how the story unfolds. One suppression after another, after another, after another. And this is what happens. You go to your practitioner and you tell them your current symptom set. Oh, I have anxiety, I have Crohn's, I have osteoporosis, I have constipation, whatever it may be. You call me, tell them your symptom set. Now here's the deal. In using homeopathy, when we're using it effectively, accurately, in the way it's supposed to be practiced, as I like to refer to it, you're playing to its strengths. You have to play to each medicine's strengths. For example, if you just go outside and UVB light and you're fair-skinned and you burn, you're not playing to the strengths of sunlight. You're not playing to the therapeutic strengths of that modality. If we put it into a different context, if we start watching the sunrise, getting in UVA light, then getting in UVB, suddenly we tan, suddenly we have more energy, suddenly our metabolic health is better, suddenly our cortisol levels are more balanced. Now we're playing to the strengths of sunlight. Similarly, with homeopathy, we cannot just Google a remedy and be like, oh, constipation, blah, blah, blah. We put it in a Google, box, and here you get remedies for constipation. That is not how healing works. You show up with your upper layer of symptoms. A good homeopathic practitioner is going to ask you questions ad nauseum about your physical health, your mental, your emotional health, to understand your organism and why it's expressing these symptoms. Because really our symptoms, the symptoms your body's producing, may be a pain in the ass, right? It may literally cause you grief and be really disturbing and debilitating to your life, or just nagging and annoying. But your body's producing those symptoms as an attempt in an effort to try to get your immune system to put out some effort to try to get over those symptoms. But here's the thing. We've suppressed our symptoms for so many years that the immune system has lost all strength or a great deal of its strength. So now we no longer can produce strong enough symptoms to help us get over what we're struggling with, whether that's on the mental, emotional, or physical level, right? Whether that's anxiety, depression, phobias, whether that is OCD, whether that's constipation, whether that is headaches, whether that's migraines, whether etc., right? When your body continues to bump up against the same symptom, that's your body's immune system producing that symptom, trying to get you over the hump, trying to prevent that disease from going deeper into your body and causing more harm, causing harm that's more dangerous to your body. So when you show up to your practitioner, you're showing up with your upper level, right? So here I come, boom, maybe when I had my TBI, anxiety, migraine, headaches, insomnia, but what's underneath that layer? Oh, here's the strep throat, here's the acne and constipation, right? Then we have the car accident, this assault, this trauma, this PTSD, that then my body cannot get these symptoms quite literally because it's stuck in this layer. It's stuck on this upper layer. So now what do? We cannot treat these things. We can only treat what's on top. So we have to treat what's on top. And when you go to a well-trained homeopathic practitioner, they're going to treat what's on top. Gradually over the coming months, that layer is going to start to dissolve and shift and change. And then what happens is, here comes this next layer. This next layer is able to breathe again. The immune system has more strength to access those symptoms that got suppressed. And so this is how homeopathy works, peeling back the layers to finally get to all of these suppressed layers one by one. And that is how we prevent chronic disease at the core. That is how we do it. We do it little by little, chipping away with each remedy over time to remove the layers, because each layer is an expression of suppression. And your immune system will continue to put out those symptoms, those same symptoms over and over again, over and over again. Why? Because it's not strong enough to do what? To give you a high fever, 101.3 Fahrenheit or higher. If your body could achieve that, if you could get to that state, then you have the opportunity to remove that suppressed layer and get down to, okay, boom, there it goes. As soon as you're struggling with constipation, you're struggling with a chronic disease, and of course there are many ways, but one telltale sign that somebody has removed a layer, when I'm working with a client, I'm like, oh, boom, we're nailing that layer, we're getting to it, we're removing this layer of suppression, is when after I prescribe a remedy to somebody, right, then days to weeks to months later, because this takes time. Your suppression has been there for years. It's going to take time to really remove that, but we have to gradually chip away with that using homeopathy. And then you get a high fever. That's a celebration. That's something to celebrate. And when somebody tells you we all have innate immune systems, we all have this ability to fight disease. Yes, we do. However, we have to get the facts straight. Most people today cannot fight disease. They cannot get over acutes. They cannot get over chronic diseases. Why? Because their immune system is so suppressed that it literally has stopped functioning. It's not strong enough to help us heal our chronic conditions, to help us get a high fever so we can get over our acute conditions, so we can get over our chronic disease states. And that's exactly what homeopathy allows the organism to achieve. That's why I practice homeopathy. And I hope that this video helps you understand this medicine a little bit better.